I'm Daniel, and this is Ashville. And today, I'm going to tell you secrets about Ashville Weekly. If you're watching this, it means we have successfully reached 100 episodes of Ashville Weekly. Now, this is one of the bonus videos to celebrate reaching that 100 milestone. So for those dedicated Ashville Weekly fans who have been watching every Sunday for almost 2 years, let's see how many of these you already know about. I've said it before, Ashville Weekly was a result of us trying to replicate the success of Day in the Life, which did so well and is now on 2.3 million views. So when Ara and I decided to embark on this journey, we were looking for inspiration, and we only really watch one person, and that's Casey Neistat. Now, we have tried many different types of intro, but what we really pay attention to is the retention metric. So we look at the first 30 seconds and see how we retain our viewership. And I was insulted when Ara told me we had 60 to 70% retention, what basically meant that 30% of people were switching off. Now, that's not good. So we decided to film the intro at the end of the week so we had more substance and a better story to tell you about what was going to happen. And that actually increased our retention numbers by 1 to 3%. If you watched our earlier videos, you'll notice that we used to open gifts we used to get on camera. Now, this made me really excited. And this isn't normal for a construction and aggregates company to receive gifts from complete strangers. But I had to knock all that on the head, because one company sent us a gift, which we're very grateful for, and then they sent us a second gift, and because we didn't open it on camera, they called the office and they were rude to my staff. So I decided that I was gonna put a complete stop to it. And as I stopped putting it on camera, to be honest, the gifts actually slowed down. With great power comes great responsibility. Now, some of my staff struggle slightly with being internationally famous and what comes with that. No, I'm joking. But as the videos began to gain momentum and people began to be recognized out of work, a lot of my staff asked not to be on camera, and of course, I respected it. Now, to be fair to my staff, none of them have actually asked me to be on camera, and when they applied for the jobs, they weren't told they would be on camera. So of course, I've had to respect their wishes. But there are different parameters for each people. So we have one person, we can blur their face, but their body can't be in shot. We have another person, you have to blur their face and their voice. We have another person who we have to not have them on camera at all and pretend that they don't exist and they were completely lost and they've never been to the yard. We have another person who fixes everything around the yard, who that person's name cannot be mentioned. They can be blurred, but you can only show their hands. And it's better to not even blur them at all, so you just completely crop them out. And we have another person whose face we had to blur, but then they went to a family wedding, and when they told everyone they worked at Ashville, because of the props they got, they decided that they no longer needed to be blurred, and they happened to keep walking in front of the camera at multiple times when I was filming. Someone else, their face must be blurred, and their belly cannot be in shot. And someone else can be in it, they can be in shot. We don't need to blur their face or their voice, but they have to approve it first. For every video, we make multiple thumbnails. Now, thumbnails are taken from the final export, they're stills, and we bounce around ideas about the title and what we could possibly do, and that is around 6:30 or 7 on a Sunday morning before the video goes live, and that can change multiple times. And yes, we do change the thumbnail and we do change the title after the video has been released if we think that the video is not performing well. In 100 episodes, we only ever had to take down one weekly, and then we were able to put it back up 2 days later. And only once were we late with weekly, where we released it on Monday, and that was episode 28, Guilty by Association. Now, I don't want to make this start sounding like a DMX song, but over the course of Ashville Weekly, there have been 9 different editors on 100 episodes. There have been 5 different cameras and 3 iMac Pros. And those editors, let's name them and congratulate them. There's Ara, there's Tim, Will, Glenn, Adam, Frighty, Jay, Kent, and Meds. Now this is a fully functioning business and I have no production crew. I am the sweeper in this business, tidying everything up, and I am Mr. Buck Stops here. So I have to try to integrate my business and what I have to do with filming the videos. Now I do this on a Sunday evening. I create a notes. So I do day by day, I have a look at my diary, I see what I'll be doing, I know what day the trains are coming, I map the trains out, we can show you a bit here what it looks like. Now that is the plan for the week, so I remember what I'm filming, and then when the guys are editing, they can go back to these notes and see if anything has been missed. But things that happen spontaneously, like me going places or things breaking or having to go and look at new jobs, I update these notes, and then when I've done them, I click on them, there we go. I click on them so the boys know it actually happened. If I haven't clicked it, that probably means that I thought I was gonna film it, but I didn't. When we started with Ashville Weekly, we genuinely had no idea how many episodes that we wanted to do. At the start, Ara said, let's do 10 and see how we feel, and it kind of gained momentum from there. When the videos were doing such great views, it kind of came part of my daily routine and it became second nature to me. But there were many times in the beginning, before we had the 1 week delay, where on a Saturday night at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., when it's snowing outside, we didn't have great internet at the time because the internet infrastructure hadn't been updated, when Ara and I looked at each other and said, never again. And what happened would be I would start work on Monday and I would just be more tired and more tired each week. Now, when we introduced the 1 week delay to release Ashville Weekly 1 week later, it did change things, but each and every episode I watch it through probably twice with the edit team, and then it's handed over to Ara so he can tweak it and sign it off. Now, if there was a director's credit for Ashville Weekly, I'm sorry to say that it would go to me. No. Now, on the real, guys, whenever we're filming, I have a vision and I know what I want to communicate to the people who are watching it. So more often than not, I direct and I ask the guys the shots and angles that I'd like them to get. Go over there, go wide, go wide, go wide, go wide, go wide. I think you need to do it from here so you can see that it's lower. Just his wheels, yeah? Just walk forwards, yeah? I'll walk backwards. Get close up of the shoe. Get a pan showing that the corners aren't covered. No, let me come out of shot. Of course, the guys are creative as well, and we combine that with my ideas, which actually gives us a fantastic end product. But I am always in the mix, looking at angles and thinking of the best way to shoot it. If you fancy it, you can call me, I think, Daniel Tarantino, Daniel Bay, or even Daniel Spielberg. Now, the innuendo highlights is actually something that started by accident, but people actually found it funny, of course, because I was getting completely annihilated and buried, and everybody loves that. And I don't mind laughing at myself, because you can't take yourself too seriously. Now, those highlights are the very last thing that is done in the edit. And more often than not, I don't see it. And that is where a lot of editors like Dan Frighty, that's where he gets his job satisfaction. If I see him chuckling to himself, I know that he's doing the highlights and I'm getting completely and utterly obliterated. Now, we picked Sunday as the release day because we thought that most of the following would be people in the trades in the UK, and that would be the time when they would have the most time to watch. Truth be told, I always want to make the videos a lot better. I want more graphics. I want it to be like a Super Bowl halftime. I want it to be like a Transformers movie. You know the time when Optimus Prime lands and he's got the jetpack on and he just starts just mashing everyone over. I would like to make the episodes like that, but I have had to rein it in because we need to get the videos out in time, and we really should be focusing on the standalone videos. Speaking of standalone videos, whenever we have an ongoing project, which takes a long time to film and it's going to come out later, whenever I'm on site, I film 2 bits to camera. So I say, this is for Weekly. Anyway, enough here, heading back to the yacht. That's Weekly. And I say my bit and I try not to reveal too much, and then I do another part and I say this is for the main video, and that's when we do a much wider shot so we can show the progress. That's it, guys. Hope you found that interesting, and it may be helpful to some of you who want to start something similar for yourselves. And we have another video coming out very soon what will completely put you off it. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see a day in my life, and click here for Ashville Weekly episode 1.